Good morning, Secretary Sebelius, and thank you for taking the time to meet with me to discuss my proposal to improve information access for vulnerable people in Eastern North Carolina during times of disaster. I live in Pitt County, North Carolina. It is the largest of the 41 counties that comprise Eastern Carolina, one of three regions in the state, the other two being our Piedmont or Central region and our Western or Mountainous region. I work at Vidant Medical Center in Pitt County. It is the only level 1 trauma center in Eastern Carolina. We serve a population of more than 1.2 million people and have been involved in the 12 disasters listed by FEMA data that have occurred in the past 10 years, most recently severe damage from a hurricane and tornadoes. I've chosen to focus on the county disaster plan that reaches special medical needs populations because it is in place here locally and it is reviewed and updated annually. And with successful implementation of the project I'm proposing, I hope I can duplicate this and move it to other counties in Eastern Carolina and hopefully even throughout the state. People with special medical needs are those generally who have conditions that require access to electricity, such as people dependent on oxygen, people dependent on home dialysis treatments, and those who may have other physical or mental frailties that make them simply unable to be safe and meet their needs during a time of disaster. During our last annual review, we realized that our plan did focus on primarily television and radio, which is what the research tells us we continue to look at. And we felt we wanted to move into more 21st century technologies that people are using. Even older citizens are using the internet, Facebook, other social media websites, and we want to incorporate this technology. One of the ways people become part of the special medical needs group is to be referred by one of the stakeholder organizations, and we'd like to give people the opportunity to self-identify and register online, and we'll talk about that when I get to the actual project phase. I do want to mention some of the research that went into this project, and that included looking at how we look at disaster services, how we look at special medical needs. There was not a significant amount of information. Again, most of it refers to the responders and not the recipients, with the exception of some qualitative studies. We also tend to focus on television and radio, although we know that those are likely to not be available during times of disaster. The stations may stay up, but the population may not be able to hear them. So we also looked at that, and even the CDC is recognizing the need to move into the information age, and it does have recommendations for user-friendly websites that empower people and give them a sense of ownership and interconnectivity and interactivity with the websites. So those are some very exciting ideas that have come up in the research, and we'd like to help Pitt County along. So I'd like to use my remaining time to discuss the project. We will be looking at this using a marketing mix, again, focusing on the consumer as the target group and not the responders. We'll be looking at product placement, which is going to be our social media sites and our smartphone application email listing. So most of our information is going to live in a place where people can access it at their convenience. And there will be, again, some interactivity, particularly with our web page, where we will have an online self-identification form that people can use as opposed to the referral and pen and pencil method that has always been used in the past. Once we have our project in place, we will be marketing it through stakeholder organizations, primarily using the county staff and social service staff to provide information and education. Hopefully, people who have access to the internet and smartphones, uh, they will incur no additional cost to use social media, and so that will be no cost to them. Information available when and where they want to access it. So basically, the project is going to be phased in. The initial phase is going to be the development of the website, the Facebook page and the smart phone application. And for the smartphone and web page, we will be looking for development assistance on that. And once those pieces are done, we will also be looking at our email list, which we currently have. We will be again using updated technology to develop cluster mailings that will be delivered as text messages. Again, valuable because when the power is out, we're looking at technologies that are dependent on satellites and will likely be up and running during disasters. We will do our marketing blitz. We will be having brochures made up, and that is included in the budget. And we will be looking at leaving these in areas such as libraries, civic organizations, etc. We're really looking to, again, encourage people to self-identify as special medical needs, and we'd like to know, are we really reaching the population? At the conclusion of the storm season this year, we will be doing an evaluation, and certainly we're going to want to look at how people received the this type of information. Were they comfortable with it? Did they in fact use it? But most importantly, did we identify people with special medical needs, and were we able to care for them during times of disaster? The total budget for this project does include cost for the website and smartphone application development. There will be some travel expense involved, primarily gas, because we do have fleet cars available through the county, but the expense of that is included in the project. My services as project leader, because I've been loaned out by the medical center to lead this project, and I've allowed for a little bit of miscellaneous expense, just a small amount that brings the total project up to $12,000, excuse me, $20,000. There will be attachments that show the budget, the action line, and identification of the target areas. And Secretary Sebelius, I thank you very much for your time and look forward to hearing from you about my proposal. Thank you.